Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I am number one fan, Tim.
Obviously, everybody's sick about hearing COVID-19 this, coronavirus that, shelter at home this, wear masks at the store that, all this fucking bullshit. The only way that I can make sense of everything that's going on is to just tell stories about experiences I've had thanks to this. Right? Just to kind of lighten the mood.
Mm-hmm.
We have scooters for the girls here. And there's one that we were given by the next door neighbor. It's taller than the rest of them. It'd be good for the juice.
Is it like a razor scooter or an actual scooter?
Like a razor scooter.
Ugh.
That one doesn't turn so well ever since my stepdaughter pitched a little bitch fit at the school one day and slammed it up against the walls of a brick building and bent the bracket that holds the front wheel. So it don't turn so well. So nobody wants to use it. And I thought, maybe I should just buy one more that's a little bit taller. It'll get used for multiple kids eventually. Because I'm sick of those two. I'm sick of the Juice and Chi-Chi fighting over this scooter, this bike, that bike. They can't ever fucking get along, and it's just these pissing matches. And I should be like, tough shit, get used to it. But you reach a certain plateau of tolerance where you're like, maybe I just need to bite the bullet and buy one more scooter, and then they'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but I'd save it for her birthday.
Her birthday's in October.
Well, she's got a long way ahead of her.
Right. So I went to Walmart, dropped the girls off at my parents' house, went to Walmart, and I'm looking at the scooters, and it doesn't say anywhere on the box how tall in inches the fucking distance of the pipe with the handlebars is. That's the most important part when you're trying to buy for a kid that's a little bit taller, is what size is it? And there's many of them that said 3 adjustable sizes. And I cracked open boxes and I looked at the fucking directions. Nowhere in there does it say the measurement of the length of the pipe that runs from the front wheel to the fucking handles.
Okay.
So how the fuck do you buy properly?
Well, since you open the box, you can assume that the pipe that the handles slide into is going to be about the same length as those handles, so you just double it.
I
I
wish
don't
it was
see
that
them
easy.
being adjustable, though, because usually they slide and there's like a button that pops out and locks.
Mm-hmm.
I did have one for my kids that had the quick release lock thing, but that also relied on that push button thing. So you'd slide it, the push button would catch, and then you lock it. Don't know why, because it's not going to go in with the push button locked in, but...
Okay, so that's just why I was at the store. That's not the meat and potatoes of the story here. What's about to happen next is where things get fun. At that particular Walmart.
Which one do you go to?
I call it the ghetto Walmart because it's in the corner of where Coon Rapids, Blaine, Spring Lake Park, and Fridley all meet, basically. Northtown.
Oh, yeah, that would definitely be ghetto.
It's a rather ethnically diverse group of people that go there.
So it's the one in Blaine off 65 and the one in Coon Rapids off Highway 10. I don't go to those anymore.
Going into the store, they've got police tape between these little uprights.
Yep.
To keep the flow of traffic going one direction.
Yep, so they can monitor how many people are in, how many people are going out. Yep.
And I am trying to leave the store, and they don't have enough cashiers. So people are like backed up and they're trying to socially distance. But the clothing racks are like, what, 15, 20 feet from the entrance?
Oh, they're not even that far away.
From the fucking cashiers.
Oh, from the entrance or the cashiers?
From the cashiers.
Yeah, like 10 feet.
So people,
you can get like 3 people. So.
Yeah, so people are like looping around and it's a fucking sea of humanity. And I'm like, I don't want to walk through all these people. So I went all the way across the store through the center main aisle to go back to the entrance. And I get there, and there's a woman who is wearing a mask. She's probably 5'10". She's probably about a deuce or more. She's got a big patch of pimples on her nose from wearing a mask all the time and big glasses. I couldn't see half of her face, but I can't imagine any scenario where I would want to have sex with a woman that looks like this. And I says to her, I need to get out. And she's like, well, you have to go back around. I'm like, I'm not comfortable doing that. There's not enough cashiers. There's too many people. I can't socially distance properly with all those people there. She's like, well, that's what you'll have to do. I'm like, I can't just step through the police tape here. And I went to put my leg up and she stepped in front of me to block me. And she's like, no, you can't. She put her hands up. I'm like, are you shitting me? She's like, I'm not shitting you. You'll just have to go around. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I just told you I don't feel comfortable because somebody could be sick over there and I don't want to get close enough to them. So your company's worried about social distancing, but you won't let me properly do it and you're asking me to do something I'm uncomfortable with. That's an interesting concept from a corporate mindset in terms of liability. So how do you suggest I get out of here? She's like, you can go back out to the front door.
What?
So your brilliant idea to put me in my place is to now have me walk against the flow of traffic that your fucking company has decided needs to go one way rather than letting me step between two pieces of police tape with a 5-foot fucking gap between them, big enough for a human being, and just letting me go out the door. That's what her brain came up with.
If she even has one.
You fucking deserve to work at Walmart, you disgusting sea cow. I want you to think for a second. If you were trying to leave a store and you weren't trying to steal, and an employee got right in your way and physically blocked you from leaving, how would that make you feel?
I'd actually feel a little bit threatened. Because as you were describing that, I was picturing it just like, okay, I'm going to leave. And they're like, oh, no, you can't leave. I would actually feel a little bit threatened.
That's why I said, are you shitting me?
I think at that point, a viable option would be going to one of the doors at the back of the store and kicking open the emergency door, just walking out.
I think you can get charged with a crime for that.
You got to catch it first.
Right, because there's not cameras watching me in the store for 20 minutes ahead of time.
They'll see pictures of me, but if a store I don't frequent, what do I fucking care?
Yeah, I think you're underestimating how many cameras they have in a parking lot of a Walmart in a bad area.
They only go up the first 4 rows of cars.
Really?
I know this because our car got damaged one time in the parking lot. And they're like, well, here's the camera footage, but it only goes the first 4 lines of cars in each row. Anything beyond that, they don't have a view of.
Good to know. Good to know. I don't know. With as mad as I got right there, I pretty much was ready to punch a woman in the face.
I can see it.
Like almost shaking with anger. Like, are you fucking serious?
I am just fucking leaving. Get the fuck out of my way before you end up in a hospital.
I wanted to be like, is your $10 or $11 an hour job worth the broken jaw I might give you if you keep pushing my buttons? And I'm not threatening you, but you have to be pretty ballsy to get between yourself and a grown man who looks like me and already looked angry. She just does not give a fuck, and she wants only to make other people feel miserable.
She wants to be an authority figure.
Maybe if she went to a Curves or a Weight Watchers meeting, they'd be like, wow, yeah, you have the worst problem here of any of us, right to the front of the line. Fearless leader. Fucking A. If I could go back in time, I probably would have said, are you sure about that? Are you thinking this through? Do you know me? Do you know what I'm capable of? Do you know my tendencies? Because you don't know, I might be a violent person. I might be mentally ill. I might have a weapon on me right now. Nobody pat searched me when I came in. You're sitting here and you're neglecting a lot of unknown variables just to not let me step through a line to prove a point that you're in charge and we got to follow these new fucking stupid rules. Basically, what I should have done is just been like, well, I'm going. And then I deke to the left and I quick run around her on the right. Because let's face it, a woman built like that, she's not very spry. And then I would have turned around, flipped her to the double bird and go, work on your cardio game, bitch. And then I would have left.
Do it like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, pretty much. Fucking fat cunt. But it's just all these people, and even if I was wearing a mask, that's way more people than I'm supposed to be around anywhere. They're trying to keep everybody separate. The social distancing thing is a big deal, right? Why is it on a fucking Saturday that a Walmart full of people has 5 cashiers. 5.
I haven't been to that one in a while, but do they have a lot of those self-checkout ones?
They do, but the line was fucking backed way up. I mean, I shit you not. There must have been between 50 and 75 people waiting to check out. Not 50 or 75 carts, 50 or 75 fucking people. You would think you would do what Target does, which is sensical, and you would call up additional backup cashiers to get the flow of people out the fucking door. And anybody that I heard that was waiting in line when I first tried to traverse through this crowd and went, oh shit, I noticed all the backup. People are like, why don't they have more cashiers open? And it's just like, yeah, fucking A, the store never does.
God damn it.
So after dealing with this fucking dumb, fat, blonde wench, Brunhilde, I decided I'm never going to that store again.
Fuck you!
I'll go to a different Walmart.
Good choice.
Because that's fucking stupid. And she's lucky I didn't call the store manager and complain and say, hey, if somebody says they're uncomfortable being in that big of a crowd because they can't socially distance, and your company is championing itself as being ahead of the pack in terms of social distance measures, those two concepts, they don't jive, bro. What the fuck? And I didn't get her name, but we'll just say that she's a Debra. She looked like a Debra. How many Debras have you met in your life?
2 that are my aunts.
Okay, are they attractive? Not because they're your aunt, but I mean just in general. Would you say?
If I didn't know them, hell no.
Okay. So I don't know too many people named Deb, Debbie, or Debra. But they're not like 7s, 8s, 9s, or 10s. They're usually like 3s, 4s, 5s, and maybe a 6. The best looking Debbie I can think of is Debbie Gibson.
Well, you know what? I have to be honest. Okay, I guess if I look at it now, you know, as they're much older, they're not so attractive. But back in the day when I saw younger pictures, they were attractive back then. So, but everybody ages.
That was the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
The bar for attractiveness was much lower.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, because there were way fewer people. So you really had to fucking be a diamond to stand out amongst all that shit.
Because there's just that many more beautiful people?
Well, that and plastic surgery. Yeah, I feel like society as a whole now is a lot more image obsessed with social media and such.
Some people are.
But I digress. So I was seething with rage, but not to the point where I went back inside and smeared poop on anything. I go back to my parents' house and the girls are there riding their bikes. And my mom and dad are outside talking to the neighbors from across the street. So I joined them. And they're talking. And my mom's trying to tell stories about stuff. And she's fucking up the details like she always does and tells me that I'm wrong. And I have to be the bad guy and go, boy, I love when you incorrectly recall details of stories that I was there for and you were not. That's so awesome. I said that to her in front of the neighbors. And I'm standing there and she's telling some other fucking story and I look down and my mom is wearing sandals.
She always wears sandals.
Yeah, so my mom, we've talked about, is not a physically fit woman. She's north of 70 in age. She's 4'10", and she probably weighs about a deuce and a half.
That's a huge bitch.
And as I'm looking down at her feet, I'm looking at the sandals, I'm thinking, oh my God, dude. Her fucking cankles are atrocious. I shit you not. The amount of just fat hanging down over her foot bones and spilling out of these sandals, it looks like 2 melted candlesticks. Like, did you watch Batman the Animated Series?
No.
Do you know who Clayface is?
Nope.
He's basically this mutant mound of clay that can change his appearance to look like anybody. But when he's in the Clayface form, he's just like this blob of half gelatinous shit that's running down. That's what it looked like.
Clayface.
Yeah. And
The real original fucking name.
well, he was an actor and he used this clay to change his face because he had scars. And he was trying to hide the fact that he was scarred so he could still be an actor. Clay face.
Mm-hmm.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call? That is at What Do We Call? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show for the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number 1 fan Tim.
And that's the end.